I am Maziel. Another week closer to Warhammer the Old World, another video talking about why a specific faction would be fun to collect. This week, the Noble, the Proud, the Pointy-Eared High Elves. One of the longest running factions in Warhammer, the Fantasy, and they have their science fiction counterpart, of course, with the Eldari in 40k, an army I've been interested in for 30 odd years. I've always loved elves in fantasy. I do not know why, I tend to be drawn to them all the time. I played a Blood Elf in World of Warcraft, a Dark Elf in Skyrim, and I ran a Dark Elf army in Warhammer Fantasy for the longest time. I have a deep love for the Fey folk in fantasy. I think it's because I have big ears and they have pointy ears too. Anyway, in Warhammer Fantasy and now the Old World, the High Elves still have a rich history, starting with the demon invasion when the polar gates collapsed after the Old Ones decided to just bugger off. Can we also address there was literally no reason for them to just up and leave the Old World? There was no Necrons here, so they just went bye bye and the polar gates collapsed. So the Chaos Invasion is pretty much their fault. So everyone takes up the Sword of Cain, cursing his entire bloodline. Well, he wasn't cursing his bloodline, lifting the sword cursed his bloodline. Anyway, as I was, and takes the fight to the demons. And he goes a little bit bloodlust rage mode and kills all the demons. And then he dies. Like after he dies, the elves decide to have a bit of an internal Barney and split up. The divorce was not a pleasant one, and the Dark Elves thought it was, slightly one-sided. Then you had the High Elves who decided to be still noble and nice, and the Dark Elves decided they didn't want to go down that route. This little upset, I should say, can be read in the Sundering series by Gav Thorpe, and honestly, I've just read Shadow King again. I just finished reading it twice. So I read it twice in a row. It's really good. And it's got Malekith, Shadow King, and Calador in it, as well as others. It's really worth a read, and I quite like it. And there's the High Elves Omnibus by Graham McNeill. Well, I've not read that one yet. But Graham McNeill tends to be a very good, enjoyable author, and he wrote Heldenhammer, which is very enjoyable. So the lore, there's plenty of lore for you to pick from. Just go nuts. There's loads of it. And also worth noting that the Warhammer Fantasy Army books don't really repeat the same lore as much as the codices do in Warhammer 40k. So if you want to go through several of them just for some lore, it's always fun to do. I do enjoy reading the old Warhammer Army books and codices and stuff like that. I think they're really enjoyable. So I read them a lot. I actually read 3 for this video. You think I'm joking? Not. But anyway, models for High Elves are surprisingly diverse. You have butt sloggers like bowmen and spearmen, to mighty dragons, artillery pieces like ballistas, not coffee makers, big arrow firing machines, to fast cavalry. High Elves, well, you're going to have something for everyone there. Many are still available to buy on the Games Workshop website, such as the Sisters of Thorn, Shadows Warriors, and the Flamespire Phoenix, which is a fantastic looking model and is great for a centerpiece for your army. Age of Sigmar has the Lumineth Realm Lords. These are great proxy models and even have Teclis in that box. So they actually have one of the big boys from the High Elves you can use to field it. But you can use, of course, convert these, which would be great. Anyway, you have units such as the Orland Sentinels and Wardens, and these would be your basic bowmen and spearmen. At this stage, there's a lot of potential for kit bashing and conversion, and my god, this would be so great, which means your High Elves could potentially be the most personalised army you would have for Warhammer the Old World, going through all the older Age of Sigmar stuff. Okay, painting. They are on the more difficult side, being white, and white is a horrible colour to paint, so when an army is predominantly white, it's a pain in the bum. As I said, white is a pain to paint, especially if you wanted that nice crisp white. And if you want it nice and crisp and clean, it's a pain in the bum. As I said, there's plenty of silvers and blues and golds to break up the white, and it alleviates the difficulty a lot. Anyway, as for painting the models go, if you were to go your own colour scheme, which is something I always highly recommend because it makes the army yours, it's not too bad. Some have small details, nothing a thin wash could not fix. And you mean like you do have the big Flamespire Phoenix, which looks fantastic, and you have a little man. I mean, honestly, there's not too much difficulty in the actual models themselves. They're not just plain blocks, so you're not got like big blocks of just one colour. They're nice and easily to, they're not too bad to paint if you're not painting white, is what I mean. I can get to a point in 10 minutes. Now here's the thing, there isn't really a direct Vanguard box for the High Elves, because, you know, Age of Sigmar Vanguard boxes, but there is the Lumineth Ramlord one, and it will take a bit of converting, not too much, but some. In this box you get, my god, I'm going to go so wrong with these names, and Word is literally asking me, do I speak English? This is a question I ask myself often as well. Skinari Kafalar, this is your mage. 5 Venari Blade Lords. I would use these as your white lines of trace. I don't know. Why would you put an R up there? Anyway, CHRACE. Oh, probably Shrasse or something like that. Anyway, you have 5 of those. 10 Orlan Sentinels. These are your bowmen. 10 Orlan Wardens. These are your spearmen. Some head swaps you can get on third parties like Cromlech, and maybe some weapon swaps as well. So you can make this really, really unique. It's fantastic. There you go, you have your starting army, and like I said, there are still many units you can buy for High Elves still available. God, I do love the High Elves. I love Elves so much. I'm not even joking. Like, I know a lot of people have a very much a favourite army or a favourite style, but I've always liked Elves, and I've always liked the faster Elves too. So things like Sisters of the Fawn really appeal to me on their horseback. They're nice looking models too. I mean, I've got to say that the old Warhammer, the old World models, Warhammer Fantasy models, which are still available, still look pretty damn good for Age of Sigmar. And yeah, I really like them. And then of course, why would you not, like, when I was starting this video, it's like, how would I not be able to suggest High Elves? It's like, High Elves are fantastic. I love them so much, and they're really good. And I was just thinking, like, what would I suggest? First would be always the models. The models look great. And the way they play as well, they're really fast on their feet, and they have a decent strength and toughness, which is coming up tomorrow, of course, in the building army. Talking of which, tomorrow's video is going to be slightly different, because it's really just the realm of a High Lords, High Elves. I might do kind of a separate video here. What I'm probably going to do is do a Dark Elf army, do a High Elf army, do a Wood Elf army, right? But I am looking at things like with Nagarathi and the different areas of the High Elves to see how each one of those armies would be different, like I did with the Empire, which was fantastic. So I might do that. But most likely it's going to be one Dark Elf, one High Elf, one Wood Elf, in alphabetical order, because I don't have OCD, I promise. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's the High Elves. I love Elves, and that's it. You have Wayland Games down below if you wish to save some money on your Warhammer. Like, you want some of these High Elves, they sell them about 25% off, up to 20% off, and £20 after £20 free delivery. And you have Forbidden Planet, because, you know, comics are great. And you have my comic, my merchandise, as always, and of course Patreon. But if you're going to support me, support the shops. So get yourself something nice rather than just giving me money. I'm not going to say no, but I'd rather you treat yourself first. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.